Hi guys, it's Beta here. Today I will be showing you my Clarissa deck profile. Well, actually, just kidding. I'm gonna be showing you my Loronerol deck profile. So, right deck, obviously, grade 3 Loronerol, grade 2 Loronerol, then the grade 1 Loronerol. I run the Clarissa starter just to confuse my opponent. Loronerol doesn't really need the Loronerol starter to proc skills, so you can basically run whoever starter you want. And secondly, my Clarissa starter is SP, so why not use it, right? So for the ride line, well, I run the grade 1 Loronerol. With its skill, when it's rode upon, you can search a grade 1 order, grade 1 song order from your and put it to your order zone. You can search from deck or from your hand. If you search from deck, you shuffle your deck. If you search from hand, you draw a card. So Loronerol plays around the song order mechanic where you sing a song and you get its skill. This is really good, searching, obviously getting orders in the early game on your grade 2 turn. And fun fact, because you're playing an order from deck, or because you're playing an order from a skill, it doesn't eat up your one order from hand per turn. So if you have another grade, for example, you have another grade 1 order or you have another grade 2 order, then you search from deck. You use the grade 1 or the grade 2, because the grade 2 has the same skill. The grade 2 Loronerol skill to grab an order. You can still play an order that turn. Then we are moving on to the grade 2 Loronerol, which the second skill is practically the same as the grade 1 Loronerol, but instead of a grade 1 order, you search for a grade 2 order. And the only difference is like its first skill that continues on your continuous Vanguard circle. If you have a face-up order in your order zone, she becomes a 15k attacker. Next is the grade 3 Loronerol, the star of the show. Her skill is when act once per turn, counterblast 1, choose a face-up song in my order zone, then sing it. So when you sing a song, you activate all of the effects, then turn it face down. Then when this unit attacks, if you have 2 or more face down order cards in your order zone, you can sing a song for free, and your opponent cannot call Sentinel. So Loronerol is basically, if you would compare it to one of the decks we had before, it's basically Bruce. It's basically Bruce in a sense that it's a turn 4 deck, and on your first grade 3 ride, you don't really do anything. You just try to set up for your second grade 3 turn where you can sing 2 orders, because Laura only in the deck Loronerol is the only one who can sing a song. So there's my ride deck. Next I am running 3 extra Loronerols for the Persona ride, because Persona rides are good. Lets you draw plus 10k to the front, so Persona riding is always good. Next I run Lucia, however you pronounce her name. Her skill is continues during your turn. She gets plus 2k for each order. So she becomes a beater. She's basically here as a beater. The more orders you have, the bigger she becomes. So if you have 5 orders, she becomes a 21k by herself with no boost. Then with boost, she's about a 29k attacker by with the boost. And that number goes up and up the more orders you play throughout the game. So she's really good, and she's with Laura's with the next card we're gonna talk about that can restand rear guards. You're hitting with her twice, so it's really good, in my opinion. Next is one of the song orders. I think this card is one of the 2 MVPs of the deck, which is 6 Flower Fractal. So its skill is first, when it's placed on order zone, you can flip an order face up. So basically recycling face down, recycling songs in your order zone. Then its second skill is when it's sung, choose the same number as face down orders as cards in as rear guards and stand them. Then for every rear guard you stood with this effect, your Vanguard gets plus 10k. So this order is really good. So basically on your second grade 3 turn, you're standing 2 rear guards. Your Vanguard's getting an automatic plus 20k from the skill. So if counting that you Persona Ride, that's a 43k Vanguard with 2 crits, because another one of the other orders here gives you an extra crit. So that's already a 43k Vanguard without boost, with no sentinel. So they're gonna have to hard guard that. So I run 4 of this because this is basically your win con of the deck. So you need to run 4, and unlike the grade 2 and the grade 1 order, there's no one that searches a grade 3 order, so you have to run this at max copies. Next we'll be talking about the grade 2 order, which is Matter Runaway. Its skill, when it's placed on the order, when it's put into the order zone, if my opponent's a grade 3 or greater, I can draw a card. So it's a +1. You play it +1, so it doesn't say from hand. So as long as your opponent's grade 3 and you use the grade 2 Laura skill, you're plussing 1. Then its second skill is when it's sung, give your Vanguard crit, which is again really good. With this, gives it power. This gives it a crit. With Laura's own skill, doesn't allow you to sentinel, so it really scales late game, especially when you're like standing 5 rear guards. It's like plus 50k to your Vanguard. Next is I play 3 Elmer. Honestly, I think Elmer should be a 4 of. I can show you a card that you can drop for a 4th copy of Elmer, because I do run a tech here, a tech in tech 3, because I really like the skill, but we'll talk about that when we get to her. Elmer's skill is when it's put on Guardian, so last 1, and for each card in your order zone, this gets plus 5k, plus 5 shield. So she's in D, we don't really have any big shield values, and with Elmer, it's just you can basically this is with 4 orders is a 25k shield. With 3 orders, this is basically like a V heal trigger. So this is really good, really good defensively. So I think this should be a 4 of. I'll show you the card that you can take out to make this a 4 of. But I really do think that this should be a 4 of in any deck. Next is I run 4 Equinoa. Equinoa is basically the second MVP of the deck, because her skill says when it attacks, if your Vanguard sang a song, she gets plus 5k till end of turn, and you get to counterblast 1, discard a card from hand, and you get to draw 2 cards. So it's basically discard 1 to draw 2. Her skill is really good, especially during the late game when like some decks, let's say, this helps you draw into like pieces, helps you draw into things you need to guard with. I've had games where this Equinoa clutched me, like drawing me like a PG, or like drawing into an Elmer for the big guards. So Equinoa is an automatic 4 of. I don't think she's ever gonna get cut down unless we get a better draw engine, but I really think she's one of the staples and she should always be a 4 of. Next we are running we're going to grade 1s next. I'm running 1 Romantic Happiness. This is the grade 1 order. You only really need to run 1, but you can run 2 if you want the consistency of like if 1 goes to damage, you can still search it out. So you can drop something and play 1 more of this, because I only run the 1 because the grade 1 Loronerol again searches for it, and um, you really don't need the second one, or like you don't really need to run more, because you're only gonna sing this for like your first. This is generally the first song you want to sing because its skill is when it's sung. Draw a card, choose your Vanguard, and gets +5, so your Vanguard becomes an 80k attacker with a draw 1, and you get a draw 1. So, and you generally don't want to flip this with the grade 3 order unless like for some reason you want the draw and the +5k. So like then be my guest. But I think this is as good as a 1 of. 2 would be okay, but I really think that you should just run 1. Next is I run Louisa. I run 3 Louisa. Louisa's skill, it's that when it boosts, if my Vanguard sang a song, it gets +5k, so basically an 11k booster until end of the battle. Then when this unit is in the back row, so if it's in the back row column, if it's in the back row center column, you get countercharge 1. So this is the countercharge engine of the deck. It's really, it's one of the freest countercharge. It's basically, I would compare this to Engraver from Dark State. That the condition you have to fulfill to get the countercharge is so easy because you're really gonna sing. You're gonna sing a song every turn. So you're as long as this is boosting the Vanguard, you're getting the countercharge. Next is I run 4 PGs. This is staple. If you have 2 or more cards in hand, discard a card, and if you have 1 or less, well, if you have 1 card, obviously you would have 1 or less. You wouldn't have less than 1 cards. You get the PG for free. So there you are. So obviously 4 PGs, pretty standard. Every deck needs 4 PGs. Next is my tech card, which is 3 Shia. So I play the Shia because if you have her on your grade 1 turn, she is a good rush card to help you rush, and you can think of as her draw this card as like an extra, like it's an extra filter, because you don't have a way. Again, you don't have a way to search your grade 3 orders. So having top decking a grade 3 order and discarding a card for the grade 3 order isn't as bad, and like top decking like a Louisa or any of the grade 2s is like really nice to help you rush, to help you deal damage, to push for to help you push for a game, because Laura can push really hard. And again, like the power scales the longer the game goes. So I run the again, she has skills like when it's placed. So last one, look at the top part of the deck. Call it to an open rear guard or put it into my hand. If I put it to hand, you choose a card from hand, discard it. So again, it's really good. Let's check the top deck. I saw myself top decking the over trigger a lot, but I didn't really mind because like it's a 50k shield in hand. So it's still really good again for rush and like for early game. Can help you get out your board, especially even if you're going first. Getting like a grade 3 or like an Equinoa out, just call it to the back row, and like on your grade 2 turn you already have like an attacker which you didn't have to call from hand. So that's pretty nice. So onto my trigger lineup. Well, obviously 1 over trigger, pretty standard. Don't really need to explain it. Every deck needs to play an over trigger. If you don't play an over trigger, I don't know if there's anything wrong with you, but the over trigger skill gets 1 million when it's damage check or drove check. And then the additional effect is during this fight, you get I get during my turn, all of my rear guards get plus 10k. So over triggering this for early game is really good, or like over triggering this at any point actually is really good, especially since you're restanding your rear guards. So suddenly your whole columns gets basically a plus 20k. So it's really good for this deck, especially for this deck. And like giving 100 billion to Laura is like really funny when they hard guard. Next, we're obviously running 4 heals, cause standard. Why would you run less than 4? I run actually only run 7 crits. No, I only run 6 crits. A lot of people run the 8 crit, but I really think that draws are more important in the deck, because this is a really piece reliant deck, and like if you don't have your deck if you don't have your pieces, like early game, you're gonna have a hard time. With that, I do play 5 draws for the draw. So again, draws are really nice in this deck. You usually end the game before you deck out, so like running the 5 draws and the Equinoa is fine. As long as you're like double Equinoing using double Equinoa every turn, you're not gonna deck out. But I do like the draws because again, this is a very piece reliant deck, and if you don't have your pieces, it's gonna be really hard. Like the game, you're probably gonna lose that game. You have no chance of winning if you don't have any of your pieces. So this is my Loronerol deck profile. Thanks for watching, guys, and please like and subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time.